Hey guys, hey, here is Pause again. We're back on. Let me just see on my phone if I'm going into the right group and doing all the things. Hey, if you're jumping on live, I would love for you to say hi in the chat if I can get this going. I'm on. That's awesome. Let me even put this in my new, look, I've got this new thing instead of, I used to have it on a water bottle. So, lovely to have you here. Just say hi in the chat if you're jumping on live. So Pause is something that I used to run a little while ago actually. We've gone through some sort of evolution as we've gone along in this group. So if you've been here from the very start, love for you to put a love heart in the comments, because we actually started this group as women of light. And as I've evolved and my business has evolved, that has sort of morphed and shifted into awakening magical women choosing conscious relationships, right? Because as you know, if I am new to you and I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you, my name's Elizabeth Eleanor, and I'm a creator, and like a conscious creator. I work with alchemy, and I do a process called recoding, and what that does is it clears all of the stuff that's getting in the way from you really stepping into your magic and recognizing your real divinity. Like, we have moments, right, where we can manifest this and we can manifest that, and in between we get stuck back in the illusion of what this place is. We think we're, you know, we get plugged into the system, and we forget how magic we are. And so one of the things that recoding does is it clears all that gunk out of the way, so that we're continuously on this high level of manifestation and being able to create all these magical things. And one of the things that I was able to do was attract my divine partner. And you know, as if you've been on here for a while, you know that I've been a healer for 25 years, and his last name is Makepeace. Like, I just love the way the universe works, right? It's when you're in alignment and you're following those energetic rabbit trails, you know, like Alice in Wonderland, when you're in that space, then the magic is real, right? The magic is real. And this is what we're here for in this community, in this group, is to really remind and awaken you as a creator, as a magical woman, to step out of all of the, you know, beliefs about not being good enough and not worthy and all of those things, and to really truly step into your empowered place, so that you are living in this amazing life and just flowing in the, you know, the universal flow as we go, right? So tell me all the things, what we're going to be talking about today. So this is the first pause after a bit of a break. We're going to be doing this every week on a Tuesday. I found Mondays I was still sort of in that way, you know, movement of waking up for the week and all that, after Sunday. So I wanted to pick Tuesday because it's Tuesday, right? So we're going to choose the day. And so we're going to be working on Tuesday, 8:30 every, like for half an hour. And we're going to be talking about all things relationship. And today, for the first one, what I decided to do was to play with 7 secrets of love, right? In all relationships, but especially with the relationships that are the more intimate relationships with your partner, with your family, with all of those things, but mainly with your partner. So the reason I chose this, because I see a lot of relationships out there that don't have that sustainable energy where both people are in an empowered place. You know, there's a lot of codependency in there, or independent and not interdependent, right? Where we're both in a beautiful space. So there's a lot of work to be done, ladies. There's so much stuff that needs to be shifted from all of the past generations and the beliefs and all of the cultural stuff that we, you know, the world beliefs of how we're supposed to behave in relationships and how we're supposed to behave as women. And us women are really powerful. We've got a lot to offer. We are the creative force, every single one of us. And I want you to think about this, ladies, right? Hey, I'd love for you to drop in the comments, just so if I can see if the comments are actually working, because this is a new sort of format. I can see that I've got a few people on here and I'm not able to, let me see if I can see them. Ah, there. Hey, love to have you guys here. Hey, Secure and Alison and Irene, lovely to have you here. And so let me just put this up here so I can see it properly. I want you to consider this. Every single, and this is something for you, Secure. I'm not saying that correctly. Every single person that's on the planet has come through a woman, right? In some form or another. We have the ability to physically create life. So we are extremely powerful beings, right? And so my mission, us here in our community, and I want to share something at the end, a bit of a secret that's coming up. We've got some changes happening and I want to share that with you. So I'll tell you at the end. But my mission here is to really start enhancing not only us as women, but our relationships, right? Because we often tend to find ourselves powerless in relationships, giving in, people pleasing, you know, settling for less than than we deserve, all of those things, right? And so, Kua, thank you. I'm not the best when it comes to pronouncing names, so forgive me, because I'm sure I've done it correctly the last time. It's just that now it's not going through well. So let's start. We're going to go backwards, right? Seven secrets to love, right? Now, the first one that I want to talk about, and none of them are in any particular order, but I have sort of put them in, you know, in a bit of a order of operation, right? In any relationship, number 7 is you actually have to feel safe. In any relationship, if you're not feeling safe, like this is you as an individual, right? Because we've got our higher self, our what I call superconscious, right? Our superconscious is us all together, but when you individualize it, is our higher self, right? That part of us that's got that higher wisdom always feels safe because it knows things. It knows that we are one. It knows that we are here to experience. It knows these things. But when we start individualizing and become, you know, put your hand up, mine's Elizabeth. When we become an individual, we can feel very unsafe, right? Before I start, I'd love to know, where is everyone at with relationships? Like, are you in a relationship? Are you looking for a relationship? Are you done with relationships and you don't want to have, you know, you're just living on your own? Have you just broken up from a relationship? Raise your hand and let me know so I know what your current situation is, because when I've got people on live, I can work with, you know, tailoring what we're discussing with the people that are on live, right? That's the beauty of being on live. So, as I said, you've got to feel safe, because if you're not feeling safe in your body and your mind and, you know, like your spirit or your soul, then you can't be vulnerable and then you can't be transparent. And one of the things about relationships is that relationships really need transparency and vulnerability for a real beautiful, connected, soul-aligned relationship, right? That's one of the things that I remember, and it was so beautiful because it works both ways, right? I remember when Tim said to me, one of the things that I love about this relationship is that I feel safe. And it was just so beautiful for me to hear that, because it works both ways. Both people need to feel safe to be able to let their guard down and show their rawness, right? Their wounds and their warts and their, cellulite and all of the stuff, right? We need to be in a new relationship. It keeps surprising me pleasantly. Oh, that's so awesome. It's lovely to hear. Flows and open communication and full transparency. Absolutely, because it's so important. That's the basis, right, of knowing that you feel safe, so that you can then move into the sixth step, right? The sixth part of this is that you need to be able to communicate fully. Now, this is being able to share your secrets, share your thoughts, your beliefs, being able to, know that you can actually share some of these things, and maybe that they don't correlate, it doesn't mean that you have to have the same beliefs as the other person. But when you're in a relationship that's got maturity to it and emotional maturity, then feeling safe and being able to communicate exactly who you are, the other person it enriches the relationship, and the other person then sees you as an individual and respects and appreciates you and nourishes you as the individual and witnesses you as the individual, right? Like on the weekend, that was our first time that we had a little bit of a disagreement. So we've been together for I think it's coming up to 2.5 years, and I had a trigger come up for the first time in ages. I don't often get triggered these days, but I got triggered with something outside of the relationship, right? It was with somebody else, and I went into old patterns of like wanting Tim to notice that I was upset about something, but because I was being normal and I was masking, he didn't notice, and so then I got a bit more annoyed that he didn't notice, right? But it was all me. It was me, because I was not being transparent. I was not communicating myself well, and we were doing other stuff around the, we went to Bunnings and we had a few things going on. It was pouring down rain and there was so much going on, but he didn't notice, and so I went into a bit of a spiral. So when I did speak to him, he said the wrong thing. He said it's not the end of the world, and he didn't witness me properly, and that was enough for me to go off into my bedroom, right? Into our bedroom. Now, what's really beautiful is the relationships I've been in before, they would just leave me and not give me any attention, and Tim didn't do that. He waited about 5 minutes, let me calm down, and he walked in and he said, "What's going on? Let's talk about this." And we were able to discuss it, and I had a big cry. And because of that, because he witnessed me and I was able to express myself, I actually was able to find where it was that the trigger happened from my past, and how the bridge between what was going on now and the past experience, that my body and my mind was actually talking, it was about feeling like I didn't belong in a group. And so that was enough of a trigger. But when he held space for me and we were able to communicate it, I was able to feel it and clear it and do a recode around it and release the whole thing. And so it brought us closer together, and we were able to discuss it and why it happened and how it happened, or all of those things. So if you don't have that sort of communication, tell me in the chat. If if you're in a relationship already, tell me, do you have that sort of relationship where you can connect and communicate with that depth and be witnessed? And do you witness your partner? Because this is reciprocal energy, right? That's the other thing about being in a space of love relationships that's going to be sustainable, is the reciprocal energy of being able to give and take and support each other and witness each other all the way through, right? So that's number 6. Number 5, Now, this is an interesting one. Let me have a cup of tea. Number 5 is an interesting one because it may bring some stuff up for people. But in my opinion, number 5 is you've got to have agreed upon roles in the relationship. You've got to have an idea of who's doing what, some sort of structure, right? And can you see how each one starts layering on each one? Because now I'm not saying that you've got to have the traditional structure where the woman's doing this and that, and the you know, if you're in a male and female, like I'm not suggesting that you're, but there is often masculine and feminine energy in any relationship, or it can get a little bit dysfunctional. You know, the power play sort of starts happening, or you know, feeling both feeling quite powerless in the relationship. In a relationship, like for Tim and we're in quite a traditional relationship, and this is by choice. I recognized before I met Tim, and this is another way of me attracting him, because if I hadn't have understood this before, I don't know if I would have been at the beach and met him the way I did. But I'd been in a relationship for a while, like a couple of months. It was only a short relationship. And this guy was loving all these women, right? And he wasn't treating me the way I wanted him to. And I spoke to him and said something about it. And he questioned me and said, why do you, you know, like, you're a woman of light, you know, like, I should be allowed to love all women, you know, like, why can't I love all the women I want, you know, like, I'm here to support women. And I actually got it. Like, I went, yeah, wait a minute, like, that's true. Why do I feel like I've got to be special in the relationship? And so I had to look at both sides of what was going on. I'm like, okay, so I pulled back and had to process it and do some reflection of my own. And I found that I had two contradictory beliefs. One of them was that I wanted to be special and I wanted to be the one, and I wanted to be in a relationship where, you know, it was the two of us against the world, all that sort of stuff. And then there was this other belief that actually everyone should be able to love whoever they want to, and blah, 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 you know, like the whole spiritual belief and cultural spiritual belief, right, of oneness and all that sort of stuff. And through that, I recognized that actually one of the things is that my belief was not the spiritual cultural one. My belief was that I wanted to be in a special relationship. I wanted to be treated with love and support and connection with my man. And that I wanted to be their woman, his woman, right? And so I had to see that I had two contradictory beliefs. So in our relationship is sort of got that traditional side to it, because I'm quite a traditional woman. Just my personal beliefs, right? Now, you might not be. Share your beliefs. I'd love to know in the comments where you sit. What are your roles in your relationship, right? Because one of the things that we do, now we both cook, but I cook mainly because I love to cook, and I cook really good food, and I'm getting more creative with food. I tend to be the one that folds the clothes because Tim hates folding the clothes, right? But we both wash the clothes and put them on the clothesline. I'm not really big on mowing the lawn, so Tim mows the lawn, right? So there's things that we tend to do, and we just sort of fell into it. But sometimes there's been these moments, right? Like, I hate doing the cleaning the shower, for example. I really hate cleaning the shower. Does anyone here love cleaning the shower? I hate cleaning the shower. And so Tim's not big on it either. So we had a discussion, and we now have a cleaner, right, that comes in once every 3 weeks and does a really big clean, because we clean the house together. But there needs to be like this mutual understanding of who's who in the zoo, right? Like there's got to be some sort of structure so that there's no resentment. Because if you're doing a role over and over again and you actually don't like doing it, but the other person's not picking up and doing it either, and you're going into people-pleasing mode, right? I love scrubbing the bathrooms. That's so cool. Come and scrub mine. So if you fall into a role that you actually don't want to do, and so and you haven't communicated it, then can you see how that resentment start? Like at first it gets a bit, it's a bit of frustration, but then it starts moving into feeling resentful. And then if you're not speaking that, can you see the layers? You're not speaking it, you don't feel safe to speak it, then there's this bump. There's this bump in the energy between the two of you, right? And so there's got to be some sort of roles that, like that's either spoken about or just sort of melded together, but then communicated so that everyone knows where they're at, right? Number 4 is growth. For any long-term relationship, we grow, we evolve, we become more. It's just part of human nature. I mean, everything grows, right? We've got trees, everything grows and dies in cycles. And so for something to become a long-term relationship, you both need to be committed to the personal growth of the relationship, right? Your own personal growth, but also the growth of the relationship. And again, see the layers of this, because as you grow, you might have different opinions start forming that you then need to communicate and feel transparent and be witnessed in, and see how this is going to dance in the relationship, right? So growth is an important thing, and both of you to be aware that life is growth, that both of you are going to grow, and how are you going to navigate that as you change in age, as you change in opinions, as you change in beliefs, as you raise your vibration, all of those things, right? Number three, you've got to have common interests. Some form of interest that you both like doing together, right? Tim and I, that's how we connected. We were walking on the beach. Sorry, I was at the beach and he was walking past, and he came back and we started chatting and we started going for a walk on the beach. And as we were walking, we started recognizing that we both love taking photos and being sunsets, sunrises. You should see how many plants we've got in this house. It's not just me. Tim is right into plants as well. We just put all our plants out. It's been raining here in Sydney. We put all our plants outside and let them all get full on soaked by the rain, and we've just brought them all back in. So we've got these common things that we love together, right? I can look right now at a fighter fish that I've got here. We've got a little bit of an obsession because now we've got 5 fighter fish in the house, right? These are things that we've both got together. So we've got these common things that we love to do together. And of course, number 2 is that we've got separate interests, right? There's things that we both do that we don't do together. Like I hang out with my friends. He goes fishing. Now sometimes we do it together, but most of the time he goes, hangs out with his mates and goes fishing. I've got my things that I do with my spiritual family, like my connected sisters and all those things. And so having a separate life so that we are individually growing as well is really important for the health of a relationship. So that we've also got other things to be talking about and to come back and to communicate and support each other and witness each other with, right, as well. Number 1, the most important. I use it as a release therapy. To scrub the bathrooms. Yeah, if I've got something going on, I clean the house. Not necessarily the shower, but I love cleaning the house. It's a good way of processing. So number one, what do you think is one of the most important that actually brings all of this together? The most important, I feel, in all of these for a loving, supportive, connected relationship is that you've got to love yourself. You've got to love yourself first, because if you can't feel that love for yourself and who you are and witness yourself and be there and holding space for yourself and being in that space of, you know, having compassion and nurturing yourself through the bad times and all of those things, how can you love somebody else and expect somebody else to support you too, right? To do that reciprocal energy and give you that space, give you that witness, be able to hold space for you. So it's really important to, you know, especially us women, we've things are shifting on the planet. Consciousness is changing. And so being able to clear all of the baggage that has been layered on us from generations past, that really we are the first generation to have the opportunity and the awareness and the consciousness to clear all of this lineage, to clear all of these wounds from our bloodline and to step into those higher frequencies. We are the first ones, because before that there was not the awareness. Like, you know, it was sort of coming in, but it's really this this generation that we have really started to recognize that we have the ability to bring back our magic and to be safe in doing that, right? Before we were burnt at the stake or drowned or all of the things. And now, you know, we've got to pull that out of ourselves as well and allow ourselves to come into that space of feeling safe and loving ourselves and being able to speak our truth and make a change in the world. So that's the 7 secrets. One of the things that I wanted to share with you to support you to, you know, because this is layering, right? Like these things, they are easy to speak about, but when it comes to building a relationship and being in connection, we were just talking about this in my Conscious Creator course. We were talking about being the predominant creator in relationship with family, right? Because it's an interesting dynamic when you're changing and growing and you've got family that want to keep you in the same pattern of behavior and want to keep you staying stuck in your little role, you know, like I'm the little sister or whatever, I'm the only daughter, all of those things. And so they start defining you and labeling you in a certain way. But when you have got more, you're expanding, you're growing, you're moving out of that shell and becoming more of your higher self and integrating it here on the planet, that can be a bit challenging, right? So we have a bit of a secret at the end of the month on the full moon, so I think it's the 24th. We have a free event called Ascension. Now, it's got two sides to the coins for this. The event is all about being able to clear anything that's getting in the way so that you are not compromising when you're having heated discussions or arguments or, you know, with family or your loved ones or, you know, your partner or whoever it might be. It's all about being able to clear the stuff that's getting in the way so that you can speak your truth and be able to have, you know, truly balanced, well-rounded relationships with people, and still be able to be in your frequency, right? To be in your empowered self. So that's on the full moon. But one of the things we're going to be doing is we're announcing some of the things that are changing in this community, in my business. There's a whole heap of stuff that's going on. I would love for you to come and watch and witness where we're going to be. We're going to be doing a really deep meditation, some ritual of some clearing with, you know, writing down, communicating and writing down and being able to burn that energy afterwards or bury it or whatever we come with, right? And so as we do that, I will be sharing some of the exciting things and the way we're evolving here in this Facebook group and in my business. One of them is that we've got new branding coming, so that's going to be fun and exciting. But because of that, I'm giving away 2 free passes, 24-hour passes to come into my Conscious Creator Circle. So you get an opportunity to see in the back of what we're doing in there and do some recoding and see some of the stuff that's creating a lot of my clients, most of my clients having massive results like collapse in time and being able to clear a lot of the stuff that's getting in the way from them living in their magic, right? And I also have a raffle. We'll be doing a raffle so that you have the opportunity to have a one-on-one session so that we can tailor what's going on for you and really clear any of the generational stuff or past lives that are getting in the way and holding your vibration down and tethering you to the ground and being able to raise that vibration so that you're in balance and you're in your higher intuition. So super fun. We'll put the link below and I will see you there. So grab the link and jump in and grab your spot for that. And I will catch you next Tuesday at 8:30 for pause. No. Hope you had time to reflect on where you're at with your relationships.